Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the new episode, or the latest episode of Momic Sessions. How you guys doing? It's been a week. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Jenny Boy.
What's up, guys? Ryan here.
I'm Shufei! Oh, sorry, I
No, it's not.
Plastic surgery gone wrong.
And we have our last guest over here.
My name is Daniel Mock and I look like Ryan. Sometimes I play stunt double when he's not free. For those on YouTube lah. Spotify can't see. But I look really like Ryan. That's what they say.
Like we're like twins. Anyway,
I love
this.
the.
Wait. This is not actually Shufei lah, guys. Okay, I don't know if the people on Spotify managed to figure that out yet. But it's not actually Shufei lah.
Yeah, I like how Daniel was actually facing away from the camera until until you know we were about to introduce him. I was about to basically like stop at Erwin, right, and talk to him and see how long he will remain like that. Away from the
Facing
camera.
away the camera.
Mystery to keep the suspense.
Yeah, but you know what? We just want to like, for me, it's like, before we go on, I just want to explain to you, who's on the show today. I mean, we have Ryan. You guys have heard Ryan, on the last few 26 episodes. I mean, like every once in a while, yeah. I mean, most of the episodes you've been on, you've been like talking to us. But we have Erwin. Say hi, Erwin.
Hi, Erwin.
No.
Oh my god.
Erwin, please explain what you do.
Hi, I'm the producer at Jenny Boy TV.
Yes.
So, what we do here, what I do here is I plan stuff. So basically, we have the creative team here. We have Daniel, he's the creative writer.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan directs. Jin directs too.
Mm-hmm. I don't really direct anymore that much.
Once a while.
Yeah, once in a while. But like Daniel, yeah, you go on.
Oh, yeah. So what they'll do is just they will give the creative over. The script or something. Then my job is from there to produce it. Basically, planning from top to bottom, getting the manpower, the budgeting, the timeline.
Yep.
And, yeah, to making sure the whole process is
Do
smooth.
you like producing?
Yeah, I've been doing it for quite a while.
So basically, you turn our rubbish into reality.
Actually, you know what?
Live photo.
If you put it that way, yeah. I mean, like, all of our rambles into reality. I mean, like, it's funny because, like, radio producers and film producers are completely different lah. But I mean, in another way, like in general, they say that producers are the ones that make things happen.
Even music producers function differently, right?
Yeah, like music
Yeah.
producers, they produce the song. Like they have
It's
all
more
the skills.
creative,
They
yeah.
have all the skills within to make the song happen. Like the knowledge of what effect to put or how this person should sound. But with like film producers, they have the resources from like different parties, I would say.
But Owen also got skill.
Yeah, he got.
You got skill to make the film happen, right?
Okay, cool. All right.
Man,
And of course, next one we have Daniel Mock. He is actually our creative writer, and he's actually responsible for some of the films you've actually watched on our channel. Dated back all the way to how many years ago?
I first started working with Genie Boy TV 2014.
2014.
The World Cup 2014 was the first video I worked on.
Was that the first one, the World Cup one?
Yeah.
Oh, actually, okay. You know what? Let's go back. Was it 5 years ago? How did we meet?
Okay, I remember Jin posted this video, I think on YouTube or somewhere, saying that he was like looking for people to collaborate with, all sorts of people. Then back then I wasn't really a fan. I didn't really watch YouTube or
Ouch.
Genie Boy TV or anything.
Oh.
Yeah, very ulu.
No. In other words, you had a life. Okay, good. Go on.
Okay, so a friend told me that, hey, you should try this out since you like writing stories and all that. And I'm like, what's that? She said, it's going to be like, the new trend, the in thing, YouTube videos. I'm like, oh, okay, lor. Then I wrote into him. I sent some of my stories. And then Jin actually replied. And then I didn't reply him. Because I was like busy stuff and all.
Okay.
Then like 2 weeks later only, I replied, oh, sorry for the late email, blah, blah, blah. And he replied again. I thought, oh, this guy is really interested. Then we arranged to meet up. And the rest, like they say, is chemistry.
Chemistry.
Would you
Yeah.
say it
Genie
was
Boy TV.
love at first swipe?
Yeah.
First-
Yeah, so Daniel is actually responsible for the movie by my side. And of course, like, for running
Web
some
series.
web series as well. And actually, we worked on one film called How Malaysians Pay Bills, and that was done with Citibank. And that actually won an award in some agency award night or something, like some marketing magazine. It was the best execution of digital or something like that for story and everything. Yeah. But the agency took the award. We didn't get anything. But it's okay. We'll pat ourselves in the back. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah. But that's how it is. You know, technically we have half of JD Boy TV on this table here today, and you know that's how it is. But then again, okay, going back to the question you said back then when you said that, okay, you know, I didn't really watch YouTube. You know, I wasn't really like too much dwelled into the whole social media thing, right? Because, you know, look, 5 years ago, a lot of things has changed. Today, everything's digital. Everything's on Facebook, okay? People hardly watch TV these days. You obviously watch like Netflix.
Yep.
Yeah. And okay, so like, you know, back then versus now, all right? Would you have said that, okay, it was like, okay, you know, I'm kind of glad that I got myself into this kind of industry?
Yeah. I mean, because telling stories is my thing, and this is like one of the main platforms that people still come to watch, to see and experience stories. Like, you know, every day when we wake up, the first thing we look at is social media, YouTube and all that. So it's something that's very accessible and close to everyone. Yeah. You don't need like a big, huge budget or connections to
Who said you don't need a huge budget? Sorry, for those listening out there, agencies, sometimes you do need a big budget for things to happen. Hey, wait, I expected a producer to chime in straight away and say, who says you don't need big budget? Yeah. Yep.
Erwin is not impressed.
Oh, man. Because I kind of believe, I believe, okay, so when we started this whole YouTube thing back then, right, it was new. A lot of people didn't know what it was. A lot of people could not explain what it was, neither could I. But the thing was, the one thing that was sort of like the same, us and to other production houses out there is, number one, we created videos and we basically told stories. And the thing is, just because we were online, we were always perceived as the cheaper option. Which today I don't know whether, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think that still applies today or what?
I mean, I don't know. Producer?
Oh, actually, funny enough, I mean, YouTube being a cheaper medium is actually kind of true at the start. So, but over the years, I mean, I've been here for about 4 years.
Yep.
I see how Genie Boy TV really evolved from just a monopod and an LED stand and a ID Mark III. So it's just a very small setup back then, and 3-man crew. We did the Cameron shoot. It was just 3 of us. I mean, it's so much different now, and I would say
now the podcast also 4 people.
yes, the podcast has more crew back then.
Yeah,
The podcast got more camera than the kind
we
of
have
video
4
last
cameras
time.
right now. In fact, So I mean, things have really evolved here in the sense of our production quality and all that. So as long as the things are justified,
yeah,
by what we spend, and really, I mean, over here, I think what we have been doing is really improving our production quality lah. That's something that is like an art for us. That we keep on to one up our skill sets. Like let's keep doing something better. Keep challenging ourselves to
Something interesting.
Let's do something not just the usual video. Let's keep improving every year. So
because okay, I can kind of understand why people think that we're the cheaper alternative. Because you know why? Like when we first started, right, most of our audiences were kids. Right? Versus like those people who basically write stories for like, you know, like big production commercials, right? You know, their industry is going to be like, okay, I'm going to make a commercial to basically win an award in the Kanchil Awards. Like these big awards. They basically make films to be submitted to film festivals. We make films and we just basically upload it on YouTube, and we do it at such a high frequency. Like we do it every week, and people will always think that, oh, they do it every week. Well, it's quite easy. Well, you know, it's not that hard. But initially, you know, to be honest, like this whole thing has basically evolved. Initially, I would say that it wasn't that tough, but what we're doing today is completely different than what we used to do like 7 years ago. Like last time it was like one monopod, like you mentioned, one monopod, one really cheap recorder, and LED light, right, is sometimes not needed, you know, because we will always go outdoor and shoot under the sun because I no budget for light, right? We just go under the sun and that's our lighting, and that's what we used to shoot with. And then after that, you know, when people started coming to us and say that, hey, you know, can you guys kind of like, you know, do something for our brand and whatever not, and they started paying something as low as like $5,000, and we took it and we were like, wow, you know, $5,000 is a lot of money, man. Until we realized that we had to pay other actors to act in our video. We realized that we had not enough money to pay everyone when they started asking for money. And then I know, like for us, all of us in this table over here, I think like, you know, Ryan joined us. I think when Ryan joined us and when Daniel, you're still working with us, you realized that we were still a very small company. We didn't have like a production team of like 10 to 20 people. It's literally like 4 people going out to shoot stuff at most, right? And today we have like what? Close to like
We average about
5.
20, no lah. I mean, on set we average about 20 to 30 people
Yeah.
now. It's actually quite like every time. That's why every time we try to find location, I'm always very scared. Oh, how many people you bringing? I was like,
Yeah.
20 to 30 people. I'm like, they're like, oh my god, so many people.
Last time we don't need permits to
Yeah,
shoot,
yeah.
and now we like, please get the
We
permit.
travel with like
Yeah.
one bus load of people like that.
And full of equipment. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, like I wanna dwell into the mind of Daniel Mock.
Whoa. Sure, I'll go there.
Yeah, because like
Danger.
yeah, Daniel writes some of the stories you basically watch on our channel, and then I need to know your background because to be honest, I mean I know that you run a company that's a creative company.
Whoa. Okay, well, I'm basically self-employed. I wouldn't say I run a company. Okay. I'm a copywriter by profession.
Yep.
Meaning I write for advertisements. I've been doing that for the longest times. But writing stories has something I've always been interested since I was young even. So being in Genie Boy TV is a chance to exercise that other side of my creative mind lah. Something different, tell silly stories about daily life and Malaysian life and whatever lah. So yeah, it's like a different side of what I usually do in my work.
And now he's on the podcast. Every time when we record a podcast, right, he will be saying, hey, you know what, you guys should talk about this. He always suggests, that I was thinking, hey, you know what, one day I should bring Daniel on the podcast. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it is Daniel on the podcast.
Hey, Daniel, I'm actually very curious. You said you like writing stories, right? But just now I just found out that you actually studied graphic design.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Actually, that's a very good question. Oh my God. Yes, he did say you said, okay. You said that you studied at where?
One Academy.
One Academy, yeah.
So what did you study in One Academy?
I studied graphic design advertising.
Okay, so wait, when you said you studied graphic design, because today he posted something on Instagram and it was actually a time-lapse video of him sketching something, right? And I was like, wow, Daniel, you can draw. I was about to make fun of you, but when I saw the end product, I was like, okay, I better shut up because I cannot even draw that.
Yeah, man.
So you did some sort of graphic design.
I was just trying out this app called Procreate on iPad. So just playing with it, okay?
What do you draw? I haven't seen it yet. What do you draw?
He drew a girl.
You drew. Oh.
Wait, he drew a cup of coffee.
Oh.
Which was got shading on it, hey, got texture on
What's
it.
the girl?
And then
Different picture.
Different
yeah,
picture. Oh.
different picture. So
when I put the girl drinking the cup of coffee.
Oh, two at once. Really. I explore tonight.
Coffee level 1, girl level 2.
Yeah,
Girl drinking
with
coffee.
level 3.
So did you study like graphic design? I mean, did you do it as a practical thing when you were studying in One Academy?
Yeah. We have to do it. One Academy focuses a lot on drawing, especially. Every week we have to draw like 4 figure sketches
Wow.
for like the whole 3 years. So I'm actually one of the worst among my friends.
Did you ever have to do the thing where you have to draw a naked person?
What?
Not
Wow.
naked lah. They are wearing something lah. Yeah. That was one of the subjects also.
I don't think whatever you get in the States will happen here in Malaysia, lah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because they really do like they put a naked person in the room and then you have to draw them.
Okay.
Whoa.
I
Wow.
met a guy.
Come, let's try that, Ryan.
Okay. Let's do it right now.
Oh, right.
So when you studied in the One Academy, did you expect you coming out to basically be a copywriter and like write stories for like big films? When you studied in the One Academy at that point in time, what were you, or like what were your I would bring your parents into this. Or what were you aspiring to be when you graduated?
Even when I graduated, I still had in mind that I'll become a graphic designer.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So I was looking for jobs as graphic designer. I even went for some interviews.
Oh.
And then one of my brother's friends, she had a vacancy in a company. So somehow I got in there. And the boss of my first company taught me a lot about copywriting.
Oh.
And I just went on with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So he hired you to be a graphic designer.
No, she hired me as a copywriter. But
Okay.
before I graduated, one of my lecturers actually told me about this thing called copywriting. I
see.
never heard about it. So I just learned, explored more about it. I went for a course. And when I graduated, I was like, choosing between these two options.
Right. Okay. So
Yeah.
when you were studying graphic design, I'm sorry I have to bring this up because, like, you know, I have some of my friends who basically study graphic design, right? And then some of their parents say that, hey, why must you study graphic design? Why can't you study something else? Like, you know, maybe like, okay, if not being an engineer or a doctor, at least study marketing lah or business. You know, at least that one is a little bit more mainstream. It's easier to find a job in that sense. You know, have your parents ever asked you that question?
Of course. More so, especially I was in science stream.
Oh.
Yeah. So I actually like advertising more because I like ideas and all that. I'm not very good in design or that actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like it, but I can't do it. So yeah, I was interested more in ideas and all that. But when I went in, it was a little more than what I expected lah.
I see.
Where the design skills all that comes in. And I saw like a lot of people who were like so much better than me, so I got very intimidated. Then sometimes I had like regrets lah, like ayo, why didn't I choose a more conventional course where maybe I could shine more? But oh well, it turned out well. It turned out for the best, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like something unexpected. I mean, now you're basically writing stories for millions to watch. Huh? Millions to watch.
Oh.
Yes, because yes, he has. He has watched. He has written stories that has been watched by millions of people. And yeah, thank you.
Oh. Thank you. You too.
Yeah. Okay, no, but now to Erwin. I need to understand Erwin. The first time I met Erwin, I was browsing through Erwin's Instagram the other day. I saw a picture of Erwin, me, and Ruben, and I'm like, oh my god, I was half my size that I am now, and Ruben was still the same height. But okay, so when you I'm not sure. Like when you studied your course, you studied was it film or
Mass communication.
mass communications? Because you see, like when I used to do radio, right, a lot of people used to come up to me and say that, hey, I want to be a radio DJ. I'm studying mass comm. And if you ask me, I never really did understand what mass comm consisted of because I did not study mass comm. Nor did I actually study to be a radio DJ, or they call it a radio announcer lah. It just so happens when I studied one thing and all of a sudden I'm being put into another position and I realized that I liked it and all of a sudden I'm doing it. And that's how I became a radio announcer. So in your case, when you studied mass communications, was it sort of like your own decision to study mass communication? And if it is yes, what made you prompt yourself to basically go into this course?
Okay, actually, there were two other options before mass comm. It was like my option C.
What's your mass comm was your option C?
Yeah.
What's option A and B?
Initially, I was like, okay, I want to be in the pilot so I can fly.
Oh man, same here. Wait, but I'll talk about it later on. Yes, go on.
Then I was like, okay, maybe a bit hard lah. Okay, then I was like, maybe engineering, or because I actually kind of like physics.
Right.
When I was in school. So
Were you a good physics student?
I would say decent or not amazing.
What do you get for physics?
D for
SPM?
decent. A for amazing.
Wait, if I say my results, you can bleep that out, right?
Sure. Why not? Just say it now. 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
Yeah. Well done.
Okay, no lah. I mean, okay. Apart from engineering, I actually wanted to do like the usual business stuff. Then I was like,
Right.
Then I think my next 2 years in college, will I really enjoy or be stressed out? Because I remember the last time I had exam was at SPM. So I was like, okay, I'm done with this exam thing. I'm not gonna do this exam thing. Then I was like, back to college. Oh no, I need to do more exams and more studies. And
Yeah.
okay, what's the most practical thing that I would like doing? and back then, funny enough, I was actually kind of introvert. I wasn't so much of a public kind of person.
And look at you now. Wow, he's speaking on the microphone, guys. He's been going on for more than like 20 seconds. This is amazing. Yeah, okay, go on.
And for me, it's like when I chose mass comm, it's a very broad course.
Yes.
And there's so many options, and I didn't know I want to do film actually.
Okay.
So yeah, I was like, okay, maybe this is a good option to just try out to see what I do and see what came off. So when it reached to the broadcasting subjects, like, oh yes, there's like a spark.
Oh, really?
Oh yes,
Sparks Joy.
Yeah, Sparks Joy. It's Sparks Joy.
Also, I mean, broadcasting in what sense? Like radio, TV?
No. Film.
Film.
Like shooting.
It's basically
videos.
film lah, but they just call it broadcast.
I mean, they have
only,
like
yeah.
journalism and all the PR stuff. So it's like, okay. Then once you reach to the subject, like broadcasting, it's like, oh yes.
Then it's like, this is my thing.
This is my calling. So basically, when you were reached to the subject broadcasting, you were very interested in the whole film aspect, lah.
Yes.
So it's safe to say that, while studying your course and while being kind of like on the fence, you found what you were interested in while studying.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas for Daniel, it's different. He found what he was interested in when he came out to the working world.
Oh yes.
Okay.
I guess that's life, huh?
And then
Yeah, I think it's like it goes to show that sometimes you really don't know what you want to do until it doesn't
Until you do it.
until
Yeah.
you do it, or like there's this preconception like, oh, by the time you finish high school you should know what you want already.
Yeah.
And that's like completely not the case.
I think it's like the Asian parent mentality where
Yeah.
you better make sure you know what you want to do when you grow up and
Yeah,
work
yeah.
towards that. It's always like that end goal. So like back to Owen, it's like once you've basically like understood that you were interested in film, right? So did you like just go on straight on all up and really excel in that particular field? And then now that's why it basically translated to you interning in one of the biggest production houses out there and now working for a small channel like us.
Yeah, actually the whole YouTube thing was kind of unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
So before
Expected or unexpected?
it's kind of unexpected.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting to like join a YouTube company. It's like, okay, I when I did my internship in actually Reservoir Production.
Yeah.
So it's a
For those listening, Reservoir Productions is one of the biggest production houses out there, award winning. They basically made or produced all of the Petronas commercials you see. And they also made movies named Guang. So they basically are the people behind such really, really great pieces of work out there, just
Yeah.
for people listening. So go on.
I have to give like big credit to them. I mean, they are the people who really inspired me. So just seeing their work, like, okay, I really need to go there and intern.
Okay.
And as soon as they accepted me, and then I did my 3 months internship, and their work culture there really like instill a lot of work qualities in me.
Right.
So from there, I mean, it's like, oh yes, this is what I really want to do, and I got the opportunity to be on a big set and like Petronas.
Oh, you were on a Petronas set?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was like the 2014 Hari
Oh,
Raya.
Raya.
It was like, wow,
Ah.
the experience was crazy. We got the Mocon machine, the legendary Quack.
Yeah,
director.
Quack is actually a director, by the way. And the MoCom, is film terms, is some machine that you use for cameras.
What's it
Huh?
called? Short for what?
Oh,
motion control
machine.
control.
So
So
it's like
robot arm.
you A to B to C, then the camera
Yeah.
will move according to the time.
I see.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty extensive, I would say, the set. So just observing there, being a production assistant has really like inspired like the little kid in me. It's like, I want to be there one day. I was like-
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, when I came back for my final semester, I met Ruben. He's my lecturer. I mean, all those- so like Ruben was like, oh hi Ruben. Oh okay. Then he had some freelance job. My very first video for Genie Boy TV
Was Philophobia, right?
No.
Oh, no. Which one?
The Kantoy one.
Kantoy. We were doing. It was
Earnest
our
Earnest
first.
Eye.
Okay, you know what? It was our first ever video for Samsung. It was the
Oh.
Note 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Note
5 or 4.
No, Note 4. It was the
Four.
Note 4. It was the Note 4. So the whole idea was he was at this cafe and he saw a bunch of hot girls and he was trying to basically tell his friends back home how hot they were. He ended up taking pictures of them, but he forgot to turn off his flash.
Oh,
Making
yeah,
them
yeah,
meet
I
up.
seen that one. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so that's the first. Okay, that's the first time you freelance for us.
Yeah, then from there I was like, oh okay, interesting production. Okay, not bad. I mean, then after that when I graduated, I mean, I wasn't expecting to go back there until Ruben actually approached me and said, hey, we really need, we want to start something. So I mean, fun fact, I'm actually the very first employee.
Yeah, Owen's actually the first hire of Genie Boy TV,
Yeah,
and he's
OG.
been with us for quite a while. And I really appreciate that. It's funny that he brought this up because, like, I remember you were on set for a film that we were shooting. It's called Philophobia.
Yeah.
And then he came up to me, and he was actually in charge of sound. Yeah, and for me, it's back then I was very particular with sound because I used to work for a radio station, right? So I'm like everything sounds. So I want it to be perfect. I was that anal. So I was like, he came up to me and then he basically did some tape. I don't know what he did. He basically took a gaffer tape. Was it a gaffer tape or a masking tape? Gaffer tape, and he basically folded it into some sort of a triangle shape and pasted it on the microphone. I said, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm basically positioning the microphone so that it won't rustle with your fabric." And I'm like, where do you learn to do this? Oh, I read this online. I was like, okay. I went to Ruben, hire this boy. Yeah. I was like, because I was like, wow, this guy actually, like, I learned this online. I'm like, oh, okay. Because it resonated a little bit with me because I learned everything that I needed to learn about video editing, about filmmaking online. And when I see someone who goes online to really, really learn about something and apply it like, you know, when you're working, I realized, okay, this person is really passionate about what they're doing. And that's basically how we tricked him into joining our company. But now we go to Mr. Ryan over here.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, all of a sudden, you know, from the casual conversation, we're going to what we once want to start with, but how we ended up somewhere else. So, you know, everybody's got a great story. Ryan, when you first started studying, okay, or when you went to tertiary education, what did your parents want you to be?
What my parents wanted me to be.
Or what did you want to be, you know?
Okay, that's a very okay. So when I went into college after high school, I was science stream also lah, and I went into college. I thought I wanted to do psychology.
Wow.
That's what I thought I wanted to do. I know my dad wanted me to do business
Okay.
You know, but he tried to be like, oh boy, you do what you want lah.
But you can do business
But have you considered business? I'm like, sorry, Dad, I don't really want to do business.
All these options.
Yeah, but
business.
he tried to try to give me my freedom and everything. Oh, Papa will support you, whatever. But have you considered business?
Oh man.
Can't blame him. Like, he's a very business-minded guy. But yeah, so I thought I wanted to do psychology, sports psychology in particular.
Because you ice skating.
I used to skate, and it was a field that really interested me. I was really interested in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went to college, and then just before I enrolled in college, I was like thinking, you know what, maybe I don't really want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to shut that option down completely.
Right.
So I enrolled, I enrolled in mass communication.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So, because I knew I didn't want to do a 9 to 5 sit in the office everyday job. That was like,
And mass communication is literally that? That means like you don't really have to sit 9 to 5.
I mean, like, it kept my options a little more open.
Okay.
You know, I wasn't like honed in into one thing. And the thing I was really grateful for is that in the course I took, basically in your first year, you have the option to take a lot of other
Electives.
a lot of electives. So I did take a psychology class. At one point, I was thought I wanted to go into advertising.
Mm-hmm.
I took an advertising class and I was like, nope.
Okay.
I hated it.
Really?
Run while you can.
Yeah, I was like, I'm so glad I got out of that right now.
Oh wow.
So I did.
No, okay. What about it? What about advertising class was bad?
It's just I didn't like that. Oh man, I don't know how to explain. I just didn't enjoy it at all.
Okay.
Because like I don't know, maybe it's like my preconceptions going into advertising didn't match what actually was going on during the class.
Okay.
Kind of thing. So it just didn't feel right for me lah. And then from there I slowly kind of made my way into film because like for my high school, you know, like in graduation, what my high school does is like each class will produce a film about your class
Right.
to show during graduation night and everything. So I was in charge of the one doing it for my class.
Mm-hmm.
And like they at the end of the year they'll screen all the films and then they'll pick a winner.
Mm-hmm.
And then my class won.
Wow.
Yeah, and the thing that really spoke to me is that I saw my classmates crying while watching the film.
Oh wow.
So I was like, oh shit, what did I just do? Like
you made people cry.
Yeah, it's just like it's like the sense of evoking some sort of emotion. So that was really interesting to me.
That's amazing, right?
Yeah,
It's an
and-
amazing feeling watching people react to your film,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, and I've always been watching a lot of films since I was younger. Well, I watched like there was one point in my life I just couldn't go to sleep without watching a film.
Yeah.
So back then it didn't occur to me to do film. Then the more I thought about it, the more I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm already like so invested into this kind of thing.
Mhm.
I really
It naturally kinda-
yeah, it was like it makes the most sense lah. It made the most sense to me.
And
Because when I was younger, I used to say I want to be archaeology. Why? Because I watched Indiana Jones. I was like, I want to be an archaeologist. Then I watched Jurassic Park. Then I'm like, I want to be a scientist.
Oh man.
Yeah, I realized how much those films have actually like inspired me and like kind of like influenced me. So from then on, I kind of like thought, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna do film.
Oh wow, well done. And okay, again, I have to put this out there. Like, you know, Daniel, Owen, and Ryan over here are the ones who are responsible for you know the millions and millions of views that are on our YouTube channel, and they are basically people behind the creation or the brainchild of all these creations that have basically reached out to millions of people. And again, I thank you guys.
And we thank you too.
Thank you too.
Now it comes to my story. I'm not sure whether it's gonna be as like for me it's like I don't know which part of me it's gonna sound like. It's like everybody is gonna refer to me as the bad option or the bad, like, what's the word, the bad role model, because like I was never a good student in school. So you even from UPSR I already know that the only subject I was good at is English. And but for some reason, like just like Erwin, my mom always told me, hey, why don't you be a pilot? Because you know why? Number one, you pay a lot of money and you get to fly the world, right? And when I was young, I had this huge obsession with planes. My mom used to buy me all these very like this. Have you heard of micro engines? Is it micro engines? Hot Wheels, Okay,
Hot Wheels.
It's okay. There's last time called micro engines, which is like these toys
Car,
basically car. It's not cars. I mean, they have the section for cars, but they have the section for aeroplanes as well. I bought every model there was. Whatever F-16, F1 to F-16 I got. The Steph, whatever stealth fighter also I got. Whatever commercial airline also I got. So for me, right, it's like all those years I've collected. Last time in my room, right, it will be shelves and shelves of aeroplane being arranged on the shelves, So for me, it's like, for the longest time, right, it's like been destined. Okay, I'm destined. I want to be a pilot. And you see, that dream has always been since from young. My uncle would buy me books of aeroplane. When I was young, right, I would pretend to be the pilot and the air steward serving drinks.
That's so dangerous. This is pilot speaking. What drink you want? You let me know later. I'll come and bring it for you.
And I will play my uncle's pretend, and I'll take all the dining table chairs and line them up and then serve them drinks just to play pretend. I will take the toy that was supposed to be a car steering wheel, put it behind, put it on the table, and then make that a cockpit.
Wow.
And until they came to Form 5 where I didn't do too well from my SPF, to be honest. But then again, the results were not out yet. You had to use your
Trials.
Your trials.
Trials.
And then trials last time is quite cheating one. If you
Yeah,
get a
yeah.
B, they will automatically upgrade you to an A.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Did you guys get that?
No.
No, man.
No.
Maybe I was so bad that cannot.
We are WYSIWYG. What you see
No,
is what you
it's
get.
like, okay, so what they will do in my school, I'm not sure if this is a bad practice or not, but they said that it's a very common practice. Like, say for example, if you had a C for a subject, right, and you need your trial exams results to go and apply for your college, right?
Yeah.
They will automatically kind of bump you up, kind of thing. Like if you get a C, okay, it'll be a B. If you get a B, you get an A. If you get an A, you get an A1, or that kind of thing. So like for me is I used my trial exam results to try and apply for a spot in Malaysia Airlines, and also at that point of time Singapore Airlines as well, because I had a friend who had an uncle who worked for Singapore Airlines who said that, hey, we are looking for cadet. They call it cadet pilots, right? So I sent everything out, and there was no response. And I waited, It's like I didn't enroll for pre-U, and I waited. I was like waiting and hoping and praying, whatever God there was so in my room before I sleep. I was like, please, at least one person reply. And then you know what? Nobody replied. And I got really, really upset. I'm like, oh man, like this sucks. And then after that, right, like, when my mom saw what happened, straight away already, right, she was like getting ready the next course of action already. It wasn't me, it was the next course of action. She came back one day, it's like, oh, would you like to consider aeronautical engineering? Still revolving aeroplanes, right? And I'm like, okay, maybe lah. I was already like,
a bit dejected.
lah. But if I'm gonna be working on something, I'll that's related to airplanes, since I love airplanes so much, right? Okay, aeronautical engineering now. So I enrolled in Taylor's in this program called Canadian Pre-University. And after that, after doing it for like 3 months, I dropped out because I'm like, you know what?
It's too hard. Aeronautical engineering is not an easy.
No. Canadian Pre-University is not anything
it's
about
just like
engineering.
a
It's just like a matriculation program.
Okay.
Then after that, I was like, I dropped out, and I'm like, I really didn't enjoy, and also maybe partially because there was a girl involved, lah.
All right. Next week on Mamak's session.
No.
Where's the sound effect?
What sound effect? Okay, I mean, the girl was not mainly the reason. Okay, maybe a big part of it. Okay, so after that, I dropped out and I went to Sunway University and I enrolled in a marketing course. You know why? Because again, my mom said, okay, if you don't want to do engineering, maybe marketing is good. Marketing is business, right? And then that's where I'm like, okay, I went there, and this course was so lousy. I mean, I can say it now because it no longer exists. I've never ever enrolled for a course, right, where it has 100% failures.
What do you mean 100% failure?
Yeah, because the lecturer forgot to do something, or basically teach us something, or tell us something, or I can't remember what it was. It was, okay, normally when you go to college, right, it's the prerequisite one. You're supposed to do practical, and after that, exams. And then there was one point of time where this lecturer, because it's a very small course, he told us, never mind, you don't have to do your practical, you just go 100% exam exam, exam based. There is, there's 50-50 or there's full exam based. So he told me, don't need to do your project because the way everybody was going around that class project was horrible. So he said, all of you just take the 100%, exam based. The thing is, I think I'm not too clear, but I think the lecturer forgot to enroll us and tell the university or that whatever course that we are taking 100% exam based. So in the results, all of us got our results and said that you didn't submit your practical, that's why you failed.
Oh man.
That's why it was a 100% failure.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was a big hoo-ha. And then after that, the next year, the whole course shut down. It's a very small course. And then for me, it was like, you know what? This is rubbish. And I realized at one point in time, I was just like, what the hell am I doing in my life, man? I'm enrolling in courses that are so lousy. And then that's where I just like, one day, right, I drove. I was very upset because it was a 100% failure, you know. And I just drove, I was driving my beat up car and I drove past Metropolitan College. Back then it's still Metropolitan. It wasn't bought by Inti yet. And I saw, Curtin University, you know. That's where I was like, you know what? I made a U-turn and I just drove in. This is out of pure... pure instinct, you know. I was there like really upset and I said that, you know what, I'm not going to be a failure in life because it's really embarrassing. I already dropped out of college. My friends are already all overseas about to graduate, and here I am not even finished with pre-university. I went in there and I said that I want to enroll. I want to be in Curtin University. I told this auntie, I want to graduate. How do I graduate? I really, you know, I'm like damn scared because you know why?
Anything.
Yeah, I didn't tell my mom yet about the whole failure yet, and I was really, really scared. So what I thought I should do was, okay, I already failed in that university. I'm going to go back with a plan of my mom and tell her how I'm going to graduate. So I went there, I told the auntie, I said that I want to graduate. Please tell me how. And then and then I gave her my results. She looked at it. She's like, oh, okay, this is what we can do. We can carry forth some of your credits. Yeah. And then you only have to do half a semester of pre-U and then straight away go to year one. And I was like, I'll do it. And that's how I got out my ass and kicked myself to basically going into college and really understanding what I wanted. And I went back, I told my mom that, and for the first time, my mom was like, okay.
Oh, that's nice.
And I'm like, oh, okay. Then I went to the room, right? I closed the door. I was like, isn't she going to take out the rotan and whack out me or something like that?
Yeah, you're like waiting, okay, maybe she don't going to whack me now. Maybe later during dinner.
Yeah.
Just eat full food, then she got straight to whack me.
Yeah, but my mom, then I think after a while, my mom came in the next day and said, and asked me, she brought my form. She said, is this really what you want to do? And I'm like, yeah, I really want to do this. You sure? Yeah. Okay, no problem. And then then after that, the next day, she followed me and then she basically paid for my fees and said that, okay, you can go on here. And that's literally how I got up my ass to basically study marketing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and understood that, okay, because I studied marketing in the previous college, and I realized, like, okay, it's actually quite an interesting subject. But when I went to Metropolitan College, Curtin University, obviously they had better lecturers, they had a better syllabus, they had more experienced teachers, and I really enjoyed myself there. And that whole stigma of like, shit, my friends are already graduating and I'm still here, went out the window. I'm like, it's okay. You know what, I'm going to study at my own pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friends, even my ex-girlfriend back then was already in the workforce. She was already working already, for like a year and a half. And there I was still studying. You know how bad of a blow that hits your ego? You'd be like, shit, I'm old already and all these people are already working and I'm hanging around people, who are younger than me and stuff like that. Not really young, 1 year younger than me. So that's how it is, But then, I graduated. I'm happy that I graduated. And then how I ended up being a radio DJ and all of a sudden YouTuber is another story altogether. But the thing is, like, I guess in this episode what we're trying to say is in the beginning, you always think you're going to be something. And then when you don't get it, how do you get out of it?
Yeah, that's true. Like, you don't have to know every single part of your life right after high school, You don't have to have every single thing planned out. It's nice to have a plan, but, plans can change. Things can change.
It reminds me of a Chinese proverb. Chinese
Chinese proverb.
Get wise. Ke ngao wan ma.
What the?
Basically, you ride on a cow
to find a horse.
Yeah. So sometimes life is like that as well.
You have to ride a cow to find a horse. But to find a cow...
you don't get the horse immediately. But by riding on the cow, the not so nice one, you eventually reach the horse.
Yeah. And I have no regrets though. I mean, I'm kind of glad I failed. To kind of like wake me up, because come on, man, to put you to college, and my mom didn't come from a background that was very rich. She had to work 3 jobs, I remember, because every time after college I had to go pick her up from a tuition center which she was teaching in, to send her to another house to teach tuition, And after that, then pick her up, send her to another house to teach tuition, just to basically put me to college. And it's that really that huge guilt in you that basically shit, you know. And the fees are not cheap. I'm not sure how much your fees were, but back then my fees, right, one semester was at least about 8,000 ringgit. That's like 6 months, like, and 8,000 ringgit is a lot of money. And then finally when I told her, like, look, I failed, and she didn't scold me. Number one, she did not. She was never upset. She never isolated me. She just said, "Is this what you wanted to do?" And then after that, from then on, maybe it's the guilt in me, I kept bringing back my results and my assignments to show her. And she's like, really, okay, I'm very happy. And then I wanted to finish all of my studies locally because, I didn't want to waste my mom's money. But, the university, damn smart lah, they said that, okay, starting this year, this subject is no longer available in Malaysia. You have to travel overseas. And yeah, that's
So you have to go overseas now.
and that was the shitty part because, I know my mom didn't tell me this, but my mom had to borrow money from people to basically put me to university over there, and it's not cheap. You pay for 8,000 per semester here, right? You pay 8,000 Aussie there. It's dollar to dollar.
Oh
Wow.
Yeah, and back then already the exchange is already 2.75, almost 3 already, and it was a big blow. And then it was so much that I'm not sure what my mom did. Okay, I know she sold some stuff because, halfway through, she just flew over and then she stayed with me in my dormitory for at least 3 months, and then to take care of me and make sure that I was doing okay and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm glad I went through that because it made me a lot more. It just brought me down more to understand that, hey, you think everything is easy, right? And it made me realize that's only when I realized that my mom hid a lot of things from me. Despite the fact that my mom was not doing so well in terms of money, she never ever told me anything. She always make it look like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
She will always make it look like, whatever I wanted, she would like, oh, okay, I can buy this for you. And whatever I wanted, she made sure she will help me achieve it, that kind of thing. So that's just basically my story. So yeah, I hope you guys take away something from whatever I've said. But yeah. What? Why are you guys looking at me like that?
Very, very.
We are touched.
very touched.
Moved beyond
I need to
words.
give Auntie Doreen a hug now.
But yeah, I mean, just to wrap things up over here, I just want to say that, everybody, again, like what Ryan mentioned just now, it's not easy to just plan what you want to do. Sometimes, things will just go terpesong. But if you're basically brave enough to pick yourself up, you can do whatever you want. Ryan, anything you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, yeah, you pretty much summed it up very nicely. So just be you lah. Don't worry too much, especially if you're just coming out of high school. You have a whole life ahead of you.
Yeah, Erwin?
Yep, very well said.
Whatever they say.
Times 2.
Yeah, but I guess you've learned something here from the show today because we have 4 different persons over here from different backgrounds who basically studied like different things, right? But ended up doing something completely different from what we thought we were going to do initially, and that's a great thing. So hopefully this inspires you listening outside. Thank you so much for joining us on this show. Remember, you can listen to us where?
On Spotify.
Wait to test Erwin. Where else, Erwin?
YouTube. iTunes.
Oh yeah, you didn't leave anything for Daniel already. What else?
Live in the studio. Come here.
No, it's not live. This is recorded. But thank you so much for listening. Remember, you can visit us or you can follow us on our Instagram page, which is @Mamak Sessions. Suggest any topics you want us to talk about, and you can stream us on Spotify, iTunes, and also listen to our voices on YouTube as well. See you guys next time.